Cheapism's independent editorial team finds the best for less. The Final Destination series never quite cracked the pantheon of all-time great horror franchises, but it did come pretty close. If you buy through our links, we may earn a commission to support our work. GroceriesView Slideshow. What's in store? Maybe you just noticed Aldi was one of the stores offering hours for vulnerable shoppers during the pandemic, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 a.m., but that's not the only reason to stop there. The budget grocery store with European roots is disrupting the industry. The central concept was a great one that perfectly lent itself to sequels, with one character saving the rest of the ensembles, supporting players from certain doom after experiencing a vision, before death started to pick them off one by one anyway in a series of elaborate set pieces. The first installment may have focused on a photogenic group of teens that escaped a plane crash, but when most people think of Final Destination, their mind tends to wander to the second installment's most famous sequence. Its streamlined shopping experience and cost-saving measures translate into big price reductions on common items. The Aldi shopping experience, however, can be unfamiliar and even intimidating to novices. Here is everything you need to know about Aldi and what to expect when shopping there. Shopping at Aldi could save big bucks. Aldi claims that by switching from national brands for weekly necessities such as meat, bread, and produce, customers can save as much as half off their grocery bills. How? Aldi avoids hidden costs such as marketing and advertising that other stores pass on to customers. Aldi doesn't have the most convenient hours. Competitors are likely open earlier and later than Aldi, by design. Aldi's lean business model dictates that the store opens only during peak shopping hours. Even though the movie came out 17 years ago, people still get freaked out if they're driving down the highway and see a logging truck anywhere near them. It's been almost a decade since Final Destination 5, which actually scored the best reviews that the franchise had ever seen, and a new entry has been stuck in development hell for almost as long. Depending on location, doors are likely to open at 9 a.m. A reboot was officially announced in January of last year, but there's been very little word on the project since. With the exception of the 8:30 a.m. however, creator Jeffrey Reddick has now confirmed in a recent interview that the coronavirus pandemic has presented a pretty serious roadblock. They were working on a new Final Destination, but that got pushed back because of COVID. Opening for an hour exclusively for vulnerable shoppers, and close within a maximum of 12 hours. Shopping at Aldi is faster. Veteran Aldi shoppers know the brand is packaged with several barcodes, so cashiers don't have to spend precious seconds searching for one, just to speed up the shopping experience. That's also why, in addition to being smaller and easier to navigate than large grocery chains, the stores all have the same layout. It's always if the formula's not broken, don't fix it. During the pandemic, there are also temporary one-way aisles and reduced occupancy limits. Aldi has roots dating back to 1913 in Germany but has expanded into a global juggernaut that now beats budget and premium chains alike in all corners of Europe. The chain has opened new UK locations nearly weekly since 2016, and has announced plans to expand to 1,200 stores by 2025. Aldi maintains a presence in 19 countries, including Switzerland, Portugal, and Spain. In Eastern Europe, Aldi has locations in Poland, Slovenia, and Hungary. Aldi has a brand for health-conscious shoppers. Aldi markets its Simply Nature brand for what it lacks. Every item in the line is made without anything on a list of more than 125 additives such as dioctyl sodium sulfosuccinate, and other things with really long names. The products, which include everything from cereal to salad, have no artificial ingredients or preservatives. The founders shared shoppers' frugality. The late founders, Theo and Karl Albrecht, were cheap themselves. But my thing is that death has so many designs in my brain that it could use. They didn't just refuse to pay to advertise their stores but used pencils down to the nub and even argued for a tax deduction on a ransom paid to get Theo back from kidnappers. Like, we're seeing one design with the Rube Goldberg kind of thing. But death could get us in so many ways. In my original story, which was a little dark because I am a Nightmare on Elm Street fan, death kind of toyed with them psychologically for some sin or some wrongdoing they did, and they ended up killing themselves. But some in the younger generation of Albrechts get $36 million annually from a family trust. Live well for less. So, that was a little dark. I don't think I would want to make that movie now, but I just think that death, it would be fun to explore that world, almost like what we did with the second one. I want to expand on the mythology. If I came back, I would want to do something different. Every major horror brand gets rebooted at least once, and fans definitely wouldn't be against the idea of another Final Destination. The 5 movies so far have brought in over $665 million at the box office, and the premise is also an easy one to sell to newer audiences who might not be too up to date with the franchise's history, but based on Reddit's comments, we may not be seeing it for a while.